Hi, this is PD at BurgZerg Arcade at BurgZergArcade.com, and today's tutorial number 67. Now, I had some assets donated by Ben, and just let me quickly open up Unity here and we'll take a look at them. He's donated some waypoint markers, and let's just add one to the scene here and take a look at it. Actually, if I drag it right into the game, we can position it better. Now, it's a little small, so let's scale that up quite a bit. So there we go. So it comes with 3 textures. If we open it up, we'll notice it has texture for 1, 2, and 3. And they're pretty good looking waypoints. Now Ben uses them to mark his spawn points in game, and when his game starts up he just destroys them. That reminded me that game objects, if we go over to our spawn point, you can't see them in your editor and you can't click on them at all, but there is a way that we can start showing them up in game, and you can do that through Gizmos. So let me go ahead and I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this editor GUI, because these are things that are only going to show up in our editor to help us debug and find things. And in there I'm going to create a new script. We'll call it spawn point. It's a C# script. I'll just double click it to open up mono development or mono develop. Make sure the name is right. Now I'm not going to need the start and the update, and we only need one function. So public void on draw Gizmos. And then in here, we just do Gizmos dot draw, and there's quite a few options here. You can draw a cube. Well, you can just go through them all. They're all pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to start off with a cube. Now it's going to ask for the center of the cube and the size of the cube. So for the center, we want it to be drawn where our spawn point is. So I'll just say transform.position, because that's where our spawn point is, and the size, and it wants it in a vector 3. So we'll say new vector 3, and let's make it 2 by 2 by 2. So if we save that off and we go back into our game, I'm going to select one of the spawn points and take that script we just created, drag it on, and there we go. We now actually have a cube representing our spawn point. So I put that on spawn point 1, so I'm going to hit apply, and that's going to go ahead and apply to all of my spawn points. I'm going to reconnect to the prefab for these ones here. So there we go. Now I can actually select my spawn points in game, and there's quite a bit you can do with your gizmos. So if we go back in, we can actually change the color. So gizmos.color equals, I'm just going to make mine red. So color.red, we'll use the short form for it. And of course, when I come back in, they'll switch over. Did I forget to save? I saved. It's supposed to be color. Gizmos.color. I should have noticed that error down there. And then they just turn red. And of course, when you zoom out, you can still see them where all your spawn points are. And if you really want to get fancy, what you can do is go ahead and open up something like Photoshop. And I'll just comment these 2 lines out for now, and create a texture to represent the gizmo for a spawn point. And for that, you could use gizmo.draw, and I'm going to do an icon. Now it's going to want to know where we want the center of our icon to be, and we want that to be on our transform. And then we want a string name, which is the name that we're going to use for our gizmo. Now I've already gone ahead and made one. And if you're going to be using textures for your gizmos, you're going to have to make another folder called Gizmos in your primary assets folder. And I made one right here. So I'm just going to copy that name to make sure I don't get any typos. I'll go back in, paste it in, and I know it's a PNG format. So I'll just save that out. And there we go. We now have X's for our spawn points. Now Ben mentioned that he uses them for his spawn points, and he uses a 3D model, and he just destroys them on load. This might be a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about destroying anything. The models are really nice, and I could definitely see using them in some sort of racing game. But I'll put them up in the educational section for everyone to go grab, and you can use whatever version you want. If you wanted to use these waypoints, you can just simply take it, drag it onto one of your spawn points, maybe change the texture. I'm just going to zero it out. So I'll want to rescale it again, as big as you want. And of course we'll want to get rid of the script that's on there as well. And this doesn't quite allow you to select the spawn point itself, but it can get you pretty close. But anyway, that's how you do Gizmos, and I hope you found it informative, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.